Hello. Today we are going to discuss about 5 hidden dangers of traveling after 70 that every senior must know before their next trip. Before we go into detail, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us to post more useful content just for you. Now, in this video, you're going to learn about the subtle but serious risks that often go unnoticed when seniors over 70 decide to travel. We'll talk about how your body responds differently to new environments, the dangers of unfamiliar foods, the real risks of delayed medical care abroad, hidden emotional tolls of being far from home, and how simple routines being disrupted can deeply affect your health. So, if you're a senior or you love someone who is, stay with us till the end. This video could be a lifesaver. Let's begin with a reality that many seniors don't think about. As we get older, our bodies become less resilient. What may have been a minor inconvenience during your 40s or 50s can suddenly turn into a major health crisis in your 70s. One of the most hidden dangers of traveling at this age is dehydration. It sounds simple, right? But older adults don't feel thirst as acutely. And with all the hustle of packing, boarding, navigating a new location, and possibly warmer or colder climates, staying hydrated becomes more complicated. Dehydration in seniors can quickly lead to dizziness, confusion, or even hospitalization due to falls or heat stroke. Imagine landing in a tropical place, walking around enjoying the sights, only to find yourself in a clinic because you underestimated how much water you needed. Another major but often hidden issue is medication mismanagement. When you're home, you're on a routine, but when you travel, everything shifts. Time zones change, sleep patterns change, and so do meal times. All these variables can throw off your medication schedule. Miss a few pills or take them too close together, and it could create health complications. And not every destination has pharmacies with your exact medication. What if you lose your bag with your meds in it? What if you run out while abroad and can't find the same brand or dosage? This kind of oversight can become very dangerous, especially if you're managing chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart issues. The third danger is something people rarely consider: reduced access to immediate health care. In your home country, you likely know where your nearest clinic or hospital is. You know who to call. But when you travel, especially to remote or underdeveloped regions, help may not be as close as you think. What if you wake up in pain in a hotel room where no one speaks your language? What if you have an allergic reaction or develop a fever and don't know where to go? Even in developed countries, navigating a foreign healthcare system can be overwhelming. Waiting for care or not knowing how to communicate your symptoms accurately can waste precious time, and that can make a huge difference in an emergency. Then there's the issue of fatigue. Yes, travel is exciting, but it's also physically demanding. Long flights, uncomfortable seating, layovers, dragging luggage through crowded airports, or walking for hours through museums or city streets. These things can drain you faster than you expect. As we age, recovery from physical strain slows down. You might think you can keep up, but your body tells a different story after day 2 or 3. Fatigue can lower your immunity, increase your risk of injury, and dampen the entire experience. You may even find yourself needing to cancel planned activities or spend the day resting in bed, missing out on the moments you traveled to enjoy. Another often overlooked danger is digestive trouble. New cuisines are part of the travel joy, but they can also disrupt your digestion in ways you didn't prepare for. Seniors have more sensitive digestive systems, and even a mild upset stomach can lead to dehydration, fatigue, and discomfort. Some foods may interact poorly with your medication. Others may be prepared in unsanitary ways, especially if you're eating street food or trying exotic dishes. Food poisoning hits older adults harder, and recovery takes longer. That romantic seafood dinner on the beach could leave you in bed for days, regretting every bite. Emotional strain is also a hidden risk. Traveling far from home can bring unexpected feelings of isolation or anxiety. You may miss your usual comforts, your favorite chair, your pet, or just a routine that helps keep your days grounded. Jet lag, unfamiliar surroundings, or even the pressure to keep up with others on a group tour can increase stress. If you're used to being around family or in a familiar environment, you might not realize how deeply these changes affect your mood and overall mental health. For some seniors, travel becomes more exhausting mentally than physically. Let's talk about jet lag, a silent disruptor. Younger travelers bounce back quickly, but for seniors, jet lag can throw off sleep, appetite, and even cognition. Crossing time zones messes with your internal clock, and that can interfere with medication schedules and your body's natural rhythm. You may find yourself wide awake at 2 a.m., groggy during the day, or struggling with confusion that you wouldn't normally experience. These disorientations can increase fall risk, impact memory, and make decision-making harder. When you're traveling, that can turn even simple activities like crossing a street into hazards. Next up is mobility issues. You may be reasonably fit, but airports, tourist spots, and public transport aren't always senior-friendly. Stairs with no handrails, uneven sidewalks, long distances between gates, and no available seating can take a toll. You might be too embarrassed to ask for assistance, or maybe you assume you'll be fine. But mobility strain is real. Even a small misstep or overexertion can cause muscle pulls or dangerous falls. And what about accessible bathrooms? Not every destination accommodates senior needs, and you might find yourself in stressful, uncomfortable situations simply because infrastructure wasn't designed with you in mind. There's also the risk of scams targeting seniors. In many tourist hotspots, scammers deliberately target older travelers, assuming they are more trusting or less tech-savvy. From fake taxi drivers and overpriced tours to misleading currency exchanges and pickpockets, seniors are often seen as easy targets. Imagine losing your wallet, passport, or phone in a foreign country. Not only is it distressing, but it can also be dangerous if you don't know where to go for help or how to recover important documents. Staying alert, informed, and cautious is not just smart. It's necessary. Let's not forget about the burden of travel insurance confusion. Most seniors are aware they need travel insurance, but do you know exactly what's covered? Many policies exclude pre-existing conditions or have confusing clauses that don't make sense unless you read every word carefully. You might assume you're covered for medical emergencies, only to find out later that you're not eligible for reimbursement due to fine print. Imagine facing a hospital bill abroad and realizing your insurance provider won't support you. That financial shock can undo years of savings. Lastly, there's the burden of returning home exhausted and ill-prepared. After all the excitement and strain, you might come back feeling worse than when you left. Recovery from travel takes longer, and if you didn't pace yourself, you could return with lingering fatigue, infections, or a flare-up of chronic issues. You may even need medical attention immediately after landing, adding extra stress at the end of what should have been a joyful experience. Planning downtime after your trip is just as important as planning the trip itself. Yes, while travel can be an incredible opportunity for seniors to explore, learn, and enjoy life, it's essential to recognize these hidden dangers. Knowing what to watch for, how to prepare, and how to care for your body and mind during travel will make the journey safer and more rewarding. You deserve adventures, but they should never come at the cost of your well-being. Always consult your doctor before planning a big trip. Travel with companions if possible, and never underestimate the importance of small comforts like hydration, sleep, and familiarity. Continue watching our channel for more senior wellness insights, safety guides, and powerful tips to help you live strong and independent. Keep your curiosity alive, but stay smart on your journeys. And now, let's dig even deeper into aspects that most people never even consider but can make or break your entire travel experience after 70. One such hidden danger is sensory overload. You might be excited about visiting a bustling market, a noisy city center, or even a popular museum, but the constant sounds, smells, lights, and motion can quickly become overwhelming. Seniors often experience changes in how they process sensory input, and too much stimulation can lead to headaches, anxiety, fatigue, and confusion. You might find yourself needing to retreat to a quiet place sooner than you thought, missing out on plans simply because your senses are screaming for a break. And the worst part is, most travelers don't anticipate this. They push themselves through one more stop, one more attraction, without realizing it's doing more harm than good. Another overlooked danger is disrupted sleep patterns. When you travel, whether across the country or the world, your sleeping environment changes. The bed feels different, the air might be too dry or humid, there's unfamiliar noise outside. Maybe it's too bright, and your body just doesn't know how to settle. Even small changes like pillows or temperature can lead to poor quality sleep. And for seniors, that's a serious issue. Lack of sleep weakens the immune system, increases fall risk, and affects mental clarity. Imagine spending your days in beautiful destinations feeling exhausted and irritable simply because you can't sleep well at night. And this isn't just jet lag. It's environmental discomfort that chips away at your energy little by little. Many seniors also face unexpected digestive slowdowns, especially with extended flights and long car or bus rides. Sitting for hours can reduce circulation and slow digestion, leading to constipation, bloating, or abdominal pain. Combine this with unfamiliar foods, inconsistent meal times, and decreased water intake, and your digestive system might just go on strike. This can make even simple things like sightseeing uncomfortable or worse, lead to a medical issue requiring treatment abroad. Seniors are often hesitant to speak up about these issues, thinking it's something minor or not worth mentioning. But it can significantly affect your travel experience if ignored. That let's not forget how the change in altitude or climate can impact your health. If you're flying into high-altitude destinations or areas with extreme temperatures, your body might struggle to adapt. Shortness of breath, fatigue, dizziness, and swelling are all common in seniors adjusting to high altitudes or hot, humid environments. And while younger travelers bounce back quickly, seniors might take days to feel normal, and that delay can wreck your entire itinerary. Some even mistake altitude sickness symptoms for signs of heart problems or other illnesses, adding to the stress and confusion. Preparing for climate and altitude is just as crucial as packing your clothes. Then there's the danger of unfamiliar infrastructure. In some places, accessibility features like elevators, ramps, or proper signage are limited or non-existent. You may have to climb steep stairs, navigate slippery floors, or deal with uneven cobblestone streets that weren't designed with aging bodies in mind. One misstep, and you could end up with a sprained ankle or worse. Seniors who already have joint pain, arthritis, or balance issues are particularly vulnerable. And what happens if you're in a place where emergency services are slow to respond or unavailable? That romantic village in the mountains might suddenly turn into a stressful ordeal. Language barriers are another factor many seniors underestimate. It's not just about ordering food or asking directions. It's about being able to communicate in an emergency. If you need a doctor, how will you explain your symptoms? What if you're allergic to a medication or have a heart condition and the people around you can't understand a word you're saying? That fear, that helplessness, can be more dangerous than the illness itself. Carrying a medical translation card or using simple translation apps can help, but many seniors don't prepare this in advance and find themselves panicking in the moment. Another risk is related to travel fatigue caused by overbooking your schedule. Many seniors think this is their one chance to see it all, so they pack every day with activities from morning till night. While that enthusiasm is admirable, it can backfire quickly. Overexertion doesn't just make you tired. It weakens your immune system, stresses your heart, and makes you more prone to accidents. You need rest days, slow mornings, and early nights. Trying to keep up with tour groups or younger companions often ends in burnout or illness. Your body needs time to recover from every activity, and if you don't build that into your plan, you're putting your health at risk. Then there's the emotional pressure that comes from wanting to enjoy every minute. Sometimes you may feel guilty for needing rest or worry you're slowing others down. You might push yourself to go on that hike or attend that late-night show, even though your body is saying no. That kind of emotional burden can build up, leading to stress, tension with travel companions, and even moments of breakdown. Traveling should be joyful, not a test of endurance. It's okay to sit something out, to take care of yourself first, and to prioritize peace over performance. Another sneaky issue is technology dependency. Many seniors rely on smartphones for maps, communication, and translation, but what if your phone dies, gets lost, or you can't find a charging point? Relying too heavily on one device can be risky, especially if you're in an unfamiliar place. You might lose access to your hotel details, flight information, or contact numbers. Not having a backup plan, like physical copies of important documents, a written itinerary, or emergency contact info, can turn a minor inconvenience into a travel disaster. Seniors should always travel with printed backups and know how to navigate without tech. Just in case, let's talk about identity theft. Traveling often means using public Wi-Fi at airports, hotels, and cafes. Seniors might not always use VPNs or secure connections, which makes them vulnerable to hackers and identity thieves. Accessing your banking app or entering sensitive info on an open network can lead to financial loss or even having your identity stolen. It's a hidden danger, but one that affects thousands of travelers every year. The problem is that it's invisible until the damage is done. Simple precautions like using a VPN or avoiding online banking while abroad can protect you more than you know. Then we must mention mental disorientation in case of long journeys or layovers. Changing time zones, sleeping in multiple places, constantly reading maps or schedules. These things can blur your sense of where you are and what day it is. This confusion, especially when traveling alone, can lead to missed flights, lost items, or even wandering into unsafe areas. It might feel like harmless forgetfulness at first, but when it combines with fatigue and stress, it can snowball into serious trouble. Seniors need routines to stay mentally sharp, and travel disrupts those routines. Preparing mentally, using daily checklists, and having someone to guide you can help ease this strain. Finally, let's touch on the post-travel recovery period. What you do after the trip is just as important as what you do during. Many seniors return home with minor issues that become major because they don't give themselves time to rest and restore. Maybe it's lingering pain from walking too much, or a cold you caught on the plane, or emotional fatigue from being out of your comfort zone. You need space to recover, slowly ease back into routine, and pay attention to your body's signals. Seniors often try to jump back into their normal schedules too quickly, and that can undo the joy of the entire trip. Taking a few days to rest, hydrate, and reconnect with your routine is not a luxury. It's a necessity when you plan your next adventure after 70. Do it wisely. Be honest about your needs. Prepare for every possibility, and never sacrifice your health for the sake of a rushed itinerary. Travel can still be magical, liberating, and deeply fulfilling, but only if you do it with awareness and respect for the way your body and mind have changed over the years. You deserve to explore, to dream, to wander, but not at the cost of your well-being. Keep watching for more practical senior travel tips, and let's continue making this stage of life the most empowered and joyful one yet. Another critical area seniors often overlook while traveling is the impact of unfamiliar routines on medical equipment or supportive aids. If you use a CPAP machine, hearing aids, mobility devices, or even custom shoes, traveling with them can be far more complicated than expected. Power outlets might not be compatible, voltage might vary, batteries could drain faster due to cold weather, or you may not have access to spare parts or replacements. And while you might think missing a night or two of sleep without your CPAP isn't a big deal, it absolutely is when you're dealing with heart conditions or sleep apnea. Similarly, being without hearing aids in a foreign environment makes communication harder, increasing isolation and confusion. These aren't accessories, they're necessities. Yet many seniors don't think through what might go wrong if these tools malfunction while far from home. Also, consider the psychological stress of unfamiliar social norms. If you're traveling to a different country or even a different region within your own country, customs and expectations can shift. The way people queue, speak, make eye contact, or behave in public might be completely different. For seniors who value predictability and order, this can feel jarring. You might accidentally offend someone or be treated rudely without knowing why. These moments build up stress, reduce enjoyment, and may make you question your decision to travel at all. Being mentally prepared for cultural differences, even in small interactions like tipping or greeting, can reduce anxiety and increase your sense of control. Another hidden hazard is transportation-related discomfort. Long hours on buses, trains, planes, or ferries can cause serious circulation problems. Seniors are at higher risk for blood clots, especially deep vein thrombosis, which can form when you're immobile for long periods. Stretching during layovers or doing simple foot exercises while seated is often ignored but incredibly important. And tight or cramped transportation conditions can worsen back pain, arthritis, or existing injuries. Even airport shuttles and taxis can be physically demanding to enter and exit, especially if you're carrying bags or trying to move quickly. Being mindful of how you're moving, sitting, and carrying weight during travel is key to preventing injury or physical setbacks. Another factor to think about is sensory disconnection. Many seniors report feeling oddly disconnected when they travel, not just physically tired, but mentally distant or foggy. You might be walking through a beautiful city, yet feel oddly numb, like you're not absorbing the moment. This happens when travel becomes too rushed, too overstimulating, or when you're not emotionally anchored. You may be surrounded by people, but still feel alone, especially in a crowd that doesn't speak your language. This kind of emotional disconnection is hard to explain, but it's deeply real and can turn what should be a joyful experience into an emotionally hollow one. Taking moments of quiet reflection, journaling, or even just sitting with a familiar snack or a book can help ground you again. Seniors also often forget to consider the real-time cost of last-minute medical needs while abroad. Even a minor fall or unexpected infection can cost hundreds or thousands in out-of-pocket expenses, depending on where you are and whether your insurance is accepted. Many health policies don't cover international care unless you've paid for specific travel coverage. You might hesitate to go to a doctor because you're unsure of the cost or the payment process, and that delay can make a small issue worse. Having a clear plan for emergency care, including local emergency numbers, nearby clinics, and how to use your insurance card, can save your life, not just your wallet. Another concern is food insecurity while traveling. You might have dietary restrictions or preferences that are easy to manage at home, but suddenly very difficult on the road. Whether it's low sodium, gluten-free, vegetarian, or diabetic-safe meals, you may find options limited, unclear, or simply unavailable in the places you visit. The risk here isn't just inconvenience. It's exposure to ingredients that could harm your health. Language barriers can make reading food labels or asking about preparation methods nearly impossible. This puts you at risk of allergic reactions or digestive upset that could otherwise be easily avoided at home. Bringing travel-safe snacks, researching menus ahead of time, and having a printed dietary needs card in the local language can prevent unwanted surprises. Then there's the issue of travel companions. If you're traveling with family or friends, the group dynamic matters more than most realize. Will they walk faster than you? Will they have the patience to take breaks when needed? Will they understand your medical needs, emotional limitations, or personal comfort preferences? The wrong travel partner can turn a joyful vacation into a stressful experience. Seniors often feel pressured to keep up or avoid being a burden, which leads them to overexert or hide discomfort. Choosing to travel with people who understand, support, and adjust for your needs is essential to your safety and happiness. Another challenge is climate-related skin damage. Seniors have thinner, more fragile skin, and traveling to hot or sunny destinations without proper sun protection can result in burns, irritation, or even serious conditions like sunstroke. It's not enough to just pack sunscreen. Reapplying it every few hours, wearing a hat, and staying in the shade are habits that need to be actively followed. Likewise, cold or dry climates can cause your skin to crack, itch, or bleed, especially around joints or hands. A good travel skincare kit with moisturizer, sunblock, and hydrating lotion can make all the difference. This might seem like a vanity issue, but damaged skin is an open door for infection, which seniors are more susceptible to. One more hidden travel danger is losing track of financial spending. With foreign currency, unfamiliar prices, and frequent purchases like tickets, meals, and gifts, it's easy to overspend. Seniors might not realize how fast their funds are draining until it's too late. In some cases, they may also fall victim to overcharges or scams simply because they don't recognize the value of the local currency. This can leave you financially strained mid-trip or force you to cut experiences short. Having a strict budget, tracking every major expense, and using credit cards that offer fraud protection can safeguard your finances during travel. Let's also talk about weather-related risks that catch many seniors off guard. Sudden weather changes, like unexpected rain, strong winds, heat waves, or cold fronts, can cause physical stress or worsen medical conditions. A hot day with high humidity can trigger breathing problems or dehydration. A cold snap can tighten muscles and aggravate arthritis. Packing flexible clothing and checking local weather every day isn't just good practice, it's a health precaution. Being caught underdressed or overdressed can expose you to risks that are easy to prevent with just a little planning. And finally, there's the emotional aftermath of travel that nobody prepares you for. After the trip is done and the photos are taken, seniors may experience a crash, feeling low, unmotivated, or even depressed. This is especially common if you traveled for a specific purpose, like visiting a long-lost friend, checking off a bucket list dream, or honoring a loved one. Coming back to daily life, especially if it's quiet or lonely, can feel like a sharp drop. You might miss the stimulation, the company, or even the sense of adventure. Preparing for this emotional dip by scheduling post-trip visits with friends, hobbies, or new goals can help prevent the blues from settling in. Traveling after 70 isn't just about where you go, it's about how you prepare, how you adapt, and how you protect yourself from the things no one talks about. Every journey can still be a beautiful chapter in your life story, but only if you go into it with wisdom, caution, and compassion for your changing needs. Stay tuned for more empowering tips to help you age joyfully, explore confidently, and live fully at every stage of life.